Okay. Well, we are in the book Beth Moore's The Patriarchs Encountering the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I finally realized that we've been going through and doing the videos. And I said, if somebody wants to buy the book, that we've been doing all these recordings. And it's like, oh yeah, somebody may want to follow along later on. So we're in the book on page 201. And so we finally are at the verse 25. And in verse 25, Joseph gave 3 orders regarding his brothers. What were they? Then we answered those questions. Okay, 2 of the 3 orders are openly thoughtful and generous. But why do you think Joseph returned the silver his brothers had paid? So we answered that question last time. So let's go back to Genesis 42, verse 25. Joseph ordered his servants to fill the men's sacks with grain, but he also gave secret instructions to return each brother's payment at the top of his sack. He also gave them provisions for their journey. So they loaded up their donkeys with the grain and started home. But when they stopped for the night and one of them opened his sack to get some grain to feed the donkey, he found his money in the sack. Look, he exclaimed to his brothers, my money is here in my sack. They were filled with terror and said to each other, what has God done to us? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So let's unpack this. First off, they had the sack. I'm like, they must have been out of grain if they already opened the grain that they just bought to feed. I'm like, you didn't have any fun. They had enough to make it. Yeah. Just to make it. And I don't know if you guys know, but sometimes when you're down to your last and you make the sacrifice to get where you need to go, and all you have left is what you came with. And God blesses you. You might have to tap into that blessing quickly. On the way home, you may have to say, but God bless me. So this is okay. I couldn't even make it home to say, well, God, thank you. So this is one of those tap into blessings. And I know I don't know if anybody else have been in this situation where you have been to a place of faith where you know if you got to a place you didn't have enough gas money to make it home. You never have I've been to that place. Okay, stop. You haven't been to that place. Does not mean enough. Well, you know what? It wasn't purposeful. Yeah. I just didn't have. I understand.
Me too. I said if I could get to work, I know somebody at work will bless me with a couple of dollars to put in the table.
Hallelujah. It made me screw up.
Yes. Hey, they said go get me some lunch and keep change. Yeah. Stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
And that's how, and I'll get there too. Yeah. And keep the change.
That's right.
So loving on the times that I've worked. I've seen the Lord move in those type of faith means.
Yeah,
When I say, Lord, you know, I don't have it,
yeah,
and say, hey, just take the whatever, and go get the food and come back and keep change.
yeah. I mean, I've been to that place where, not that I wanted to be into those
Right.
places, and it wasn't irresponsible. I just didn't have it. And I just said, God, I have to trust you.
Yes.
And in trusting him, he made a way out of
Yes.
nowhere.
Yes.
And although I got to the place on Eve, I surely didn't make it back on. And he made a way out of nowhere.
Yes.
So yes, there's times where God, I mean, you know, those $20, yeah, the Pentecostal handshake. You know, I like that. I made it to church and people didn't know that I didn't have the best money. And it's like, ooh, I got that $20. It's like, God, the mothers of the church didn't know that I didn't have money to get back home. But God knew.
Yes.
And so that was, I needed that blessing right then and there. So I don't know what the situation was for them, but whatever it was, the donkey needed some fuel.
Yes.
You need some food.
He had to tap into the grain to feed the donkey. And that's when he found the money of the sack. And it was like they were filled with terror because they believed. So Joseph put a scaring in them. Okay? He wasn't speaking their language, but he was speaking their language.
Yes.
Okay? He may have been speaking another language, but he put the fear of God in them. And they said, fear of what? But these were the same ones who were not terrified by many people. But when you're in a different place, you may have terrorized people, but they were in a different place at a different season in their lives. Yeah. They weren't terrorizing people, they were terrorized.
Also, Pastor, even though they were terrified, so in another way of looking at it, that Joseph might have just, he knew that this was family,
Mhm.
and so he gave them the money back because he knew that they would need some more money to get some more grain to his family where they are. But because of the guilt that they had,
Yeah,
then they assumed it.
yeah,
This is what God is doing. You know,
yeah,
God says, God knows that we did this to Joseph.
Yeah.
And this is our punishment. This could be another money terrified.
and they knew you don't mess around with the Egyptians too.
Right.
You don't mess around because they knew it wasn't maybe that this would happen. They knew for sure that the words that he said were going to happen. You had something you want to say?
No, I was just thinking that sometimes when we know that we've been abused, let's just say, and we have a chance to see our abuser again and show that the empowerment, you're taking back that power that they try to take away from you by being an abuser. And so in that case, because he had a slick mouth and was young, they got mad at him. But that doesn't give them the right to do what they did to him. So when he had a chance to do whatever to them, he didn't do it. And he just said, hey, leave Simeon here and go get Benji. Bring Benji back. And they're like, oh, dang, kill us. Oh, why you want? How did you know? That's the thing. See, they don't talk about that. Brothers didn't know that he was Benji and tell him to bring Benji.
They said,
No, they told him.
Oh,
yeah,
he
they
did
said-
tell him? Oh,
Yeah, they told him up front.
so
So the money was there. So they had an agreement and they felt bonded to their word. And they were in terror and they said to each other, what has God done to us?
right.
Okay. Minister Sharon, 29 to 32.
29 to 32.
Uh-huh.
Okay, 29. 7 years of great abundance are coming throughout the land of Egypt. After then, 7 years of famine will take.
Chapter 42.
Oh, I'm sorry. 29 to 32.
Yes.
When they reached their father Jacob in the land of Canaan, they told him all that had happened to them. The man who is the Lord of the country spoke harshly to us and accused us of spying on the country. But we told him, we are honest and not spies. We were 12 brothers, sons of the same father. One is no longer living, and the youngest is now with our father in the land of Canaan.
Okay. So they already know, and they've known from their perspective, Joseph is dead. Okay? That's from their perspective. And this is what they're telling their dad. All right.
But Daddy
So-
wasn't
so-
when we were in. So they should have figured that that's their brother.
No,
they had put him
no.
in
He didn't realize it. They didn't realize that.
Right. They didn't recognize that that was their
No,
brother
there's,
talking to them.
remember, there's years that passed. There's
Right.
too much. There's
But I bet you Abraham saw him. He said, my son, my son. He definitely said that.
They
Because
will-
fathers usually know and mothers know their children.
we'll see. Well, I can't say we'll see.
Well, we'll read out.
It feels like we're in it, right? Okay, so why do you think, oh, no. How did the brothers react to the return of the silver? Verse 28.
But they felt convicted. What? It's like, what did we do? You know, to get this back to us? Or did we really pay? Or what God trying to do with us?
How did they react though?
They were scared.
They were
They
scared.
were terrified.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, can you keep on reading from 33 to 38?
33, 38.
The man who is the Lord of the country said to us, this is how I will know if you are honest. Leave one brother with me, take food to revive the hunger of your household, and go. Bring back your youngest brother to me, and I will know that you are not spies, but honest men. I will then give your brother back to you, and you can trade in the country. As they began emptying their sacks, there in each man's sack was his bag of silver. When their father saw their bags of silver, they were afraid. Their father Jacob said to them, it's me that you make childless. Joseph is gone and Simeon is gone. Now you want to take Benjamin. Everything happens to me.
Oh, no.
he losing sons left and right. I know how he feel.
I know that's right.
Then Reuben said to his father, "You can kill my two sons if I don't bring him back to you. Put him in my care, and I will return him to you." But Jacob answered, "My son will not go down with you, for his brother is dead, and he alone is left. If anything happens to him on your journey, you will bring my gray hairs down to Sheol in sorrow."
I'm sorry to be laughing because he said, you're gonna bring my gray head down to the grave.
Okay,
in sorrow.
so you already know.
It ain't happening.
Listen, I have to say homework, because right now he took it like, I've already written you off. What's his relationship with Reuben?
Oh, we know, except his number.
Okay, listen, he said remember he's had those type of relationship with them that they've already crossed the line so many times
Yeah,
and almost ruined his family.
yeah.
Okay, almost ruined the family. And so he has that relationship that yes, we're family, but no, you're not gonna cost me my family. And
You don't cost me my baby.
yes,
Y'all ready
So-
to dose my baby?
yes. So if you're questioning if we're family, yes, we are. But if you want me to choose, I'm not choosing. Wow. Wow. So
He said, take my 2 kids.
he said, wow.
I said, man, wow, you sacrificing your own children. Yep.
Yeah,
Praise the
you
Lord. Yeah.
deprived me, 36. He explained, you deprived me of my children.
Yeah.
Well, aren't we your children, Daddy?
Yeah.
That remember we were talking about the other day, that, yeah, that's something, and maybe I'm just looking at it from modern times to say they wanted a place with their father, or it may be acceptance or whatever it is, but it doesn't look like they were about to get it right then, right? It's
Right.
like, no, you deprived me of my children. Joseph has disappeared. What did they say about Joseph? Didn't they say he was dead? What did Jacob say? Has disappeared. He didn't say they were dead. He was dead. He said disappeared.
He had accepted it.
Yeah,
He
it
still
wasn't
right,
sitting right.
and accepted
Simeon is gone, and now you want to take Benjamin too? Everything is going against me. But
I can see the boys doing like trying to fix their tie if they was wearing a tie.
Well, who sent them down there?
They-
The family,
The daddy.
The daddy, thank
Yeah.
you.
the
That's
family, it was the family. It was the family.
said, the family didn't send them down there. He could have sent them someplace else.
Well, where everybody was coming to Egypt to get the food.
Egypt was not the only place it was.
It was the closest.
This is where you say, but God, Minister Sharon.
But
Okay, but God, I'll say
But
that.
That's right.
but
But God. But God had a plan. Because
Yes,
really
he did.
had a plan.
Yes, he
it.
did.
They went there.
Yeah, they could have really gone any place in the world, and the word of God still would have been fulfilled. Right?
but God.
But God. Then Reuben said to his father, "You may kill my two sons." That means Reuben at this point is really to the point where there's nothing I could do to satisfy. I could give up my 2 sons for you. You know, when people have done so much wrong that even the sacrifice they make to never be enough.
Yeah.
It's not in the sacrifice, and that even goes to show sometimes people think that the sacrifice that they need to give up is their loss. It's not about the losing of stuff. And thinking about it when it's God wants us to be a living sacrifice.
Yes.
It's not about I need to give up this live right. Be a living sacrifice.
Yeah.
It's not about, okay, I need to die, this and this. Huh? Yeah, it's really about, man, following after Christ and living and loving and can we be Christ? No. But we can be a light in this world as he was and allow him to live through us.
Yes.
So he said, if I don't, you may kill my 2 sons if I don't bring Benjamin back to you. So his intention is, I'm giving you my word. I'll be responsible for it. But Jacob said, my son will not go down.
Mhm.
I don't care what you offer. My son is not going to for his brother.
I remember saying his brother Joseph was dead. And he is all I have.
Yeah. Now he's saying he's dead.
But out of all those brothers, the only one he wanted to see was Benjamin. He wanted to make sure Benjamin was still alive and okay.
But who was in mama? He was in love with the mama. He worked years for the mama. Remember that.
Say that again.
Benjamin and Joseph have the same mother.
Right.
So that's a piece of his heart. Because
Right.
remember, he spent years working and toiling for her.
Leah. Mhm.
Yeah, okay, how did Jacob react to their insistence on taking Benjamin back to Egypt? And here's the thing. Joseph was slick enough to know that they had a connection. The brothers had a connection with Simeon. And enough to know that the brothers would want to leave Simeon behind. And they would leave Joseph behind, but they wouldn't want to leave Simeon behind. And Reuben was willing to even lose his children, but he wouldn't want to lose Simeon. How did
Joseph didn't seem to mind Simeon being there.
how?
Jacob didn't mind Simeon staying there.
No, I didn't mean Jacob. Reuben was willing to give up his children if it came to it.
But I'm saying the daddy wasn't too concerned about
But
Simeon.
Simeon,
Left
no.
behind.
He
Okay, he can say that, but Benjamin ain't going.
Benjamin going. Benjamin ain't going. No.
He just be there. That's all.
No. No.
So what would
Okay.
you say was Jacob's reaction to Benjamin? you would say what it was no and no and no.
Yeah.
You got
Until they
that?
until they ran
Yeah.
out of food. Till they ran out of food.
The next time, huh?
And then they have to go back.
And see, being as far away as Jacob was, he didn't know how long this thing was gonna last. So he figured, well, we'll do it. It'll be over. We'll go get a little bit more food, and then it'll be over.
Yeah. But God had a plan.
Yes, he did.
But God. And thank God that Jacob wasn't a customer. Because he would have told HE double hockey sticks, no, you ain't taking my son. So I'm glad of that.
But how did he react? How did he react to their insistence on taking Jacob
That's where he's going. No, he's not going. I don't care who talking about Benjamin with. Ruben talking about taking my two sons. I don't trust you. And Benjamin is all I have now. Joseph is already dead.
Mhm.
So no. That's a no.
True.
back? So how would it make you all feel if you were in a position where you felt that it's clear that someone else was more favored,
It's clear what?
that someone else was more favored than you were?
But I think the brothers probably knew that already. I believe, that Reuben was favored, especially after Joseph wasn't there anymore. But I guess that still doesn't answer the question, though, because your
Yeah.
question,
Benjamin was favored after Joseph was there.
right? That's what I meant. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you say, how did you think they
Yeah. Have you guys ever been in a situation where you, or how would you feel? As you say, if you knew someone was more favored than you.
Mm.
Well,
Well,
you try
I can tell you how that feel. Hey, I can tell you how that feel.
go ahead.
I can tell you how that feel and what I do. It didn't bother me, and I'm not trying to say that I'm high and mighty, but that didn't bother me, and I had family members that felt that way about me. I guess I was in my own world because it didn't bother me. And today it still does not bother me. But now they see how I turned out. Now they want to flip the coin and be family now. Okay, yeah, all right. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I would have not feel bad. I would have tried to accommodate the one that's more favored because they'll remember who was on their side while they're going through feeling insecure because you got all this favor on you. It could go either way. You could go total arrogance or insecure. Because that's what Joseph did. He was arrogant. Look at my dad. Yeah.
Oh,
This is my daddy. Look what my daddy did. And the others say, what's up, dog? So if he was insecure, man, funny with his jacket on. I know my other brothers don't have the same jacket, and daddy showing me all this favor, If he was like that at the time, I don't think he would have wound up in the pit.
Yeah. And I think for me, I'm usually in my own world, so I don't pay attention to it. So, what's happening? Favor, no favor. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Thank God for that, Bill. I be just trying to do my job, do what I got to do for the Lord, and keep moving. And then here comes Favor. I give you one quick testimony of Favor. When I worked in Orlando, I walked like from here to 183rd Street, Club 183rd. Went for an interview. The supervisor told me, man, apply for this position. Go, you're gonna get. I said, I applied for it before. I don't want to go through that. You know, I know I'm qualified. I don't, man, just go ahead and so I put in the request for the promotion. Went to the interview. Before I left, coming across the street back to where I work. Hey, man, you got to go back across the street. And so I went back to HR and said, you got the position.
Oh,
Never
wow.
signed paperwork.
That's
You know,
awesome.
and I'm like,
Oh, wow.
I wasn't expecting that. I just did what my supervisor told me to do by obedience. And I said, Lord, it's in your hands.
But
And
God,
But
Yes,
but God.
Amen.
So yeah, that was very inspiring for me. But it didn't go to my head because it was just well overdue pay that they owed me because I was doing so much stuff.
Yeah.
So I was helping the supervisor, acting lead person, doing 3-4 jobs at one time to get these buses out. And the other guys take their lunch. I don't take lunch on time and everything. So I really work hard. I work hard because I want to get it done. I want to complete it. And then I can eat and relax. Even though it'd be 11 o'clock. Time to go home.
Yeah. I mean, they said favor is in favor,
Yes, baby.
but God is just, and just because favor may look one way to one person doesn't mean you don't have favor.
Yes.
Right?
yep, yep.
All right, so if someone could read the bottom of 201 where it says it's complicated, isn't it?
Complicated, isn't it? Life in Canaan had not ceased for Jacob and his family. They coexisted with all their complexities and conflicts at the very same time. Egypt teamed with life for Joseph. Just about the time we grow accustomed to the Egyptian scene, the spotlight in Genesis shifts suddenly to a meanwhile moment in Jacob's house.
So it wasn't.
I like that, but now what does that mean? A meanwhile moment.
Yeah, so basically, we've been watching Joseph's story, him going through from the pits to the palace, and he's now has this position and he has his family and his children, but while that is happening, his family is struggling. So life has not necessarily turned out the best, because remember, they were going from place to place and they were living almost a nomadic life, because they were renting a land and then they went here and there and just living off the land. So although he was in prison, he was in one place.
Right.
They were still in Canaan, but they were now in a position that they needed to go to Egypt, because no longer was the land that they were in, the area of Egypt that they were renting land from, it was no longer sustainable. And it just so happened that, yes, there was famine in the land, but God spoke and protected, and the provisions that was in Egypt. The famine hit everywhere.
Yeah.
Just like the stock market crashed
Yes.
a couple of times. it was felt all over the world. Some places a little bit worse than others.
Mhm.
Some places had conditions set up inside. Other places, people were dying of famine. So, but meanwhile, in Jacob's house, they were about to start. In case you were wondering, they did not have, and they had, they started off well off. They had a lot of, they had a lot of lifestyles. They had a lot of substance. They had a large family, but they were coming down to their last day. So did that answer the question?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And even as you were answering the question, just because like you said now, because what came to my mind also is that even though it's like their money was no good, well, it for them right there where Jacob was, because it was nothing to be that they could buy with their money.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
had to go to Egypt. And you know, it was the blessing of God that they even had some money to take to Egypt to buy something.
Benjamin was the trade card.
Oh, he was the trade card.
He was like Sister Hazel said, their money wasn't gonna get them nothing. Benjamin was gonna get them what they needed.
And they had enough food because of what the Lord spoke to Joseph. They had
Yep,
Egypt
yep,
had enough food for itself and others around.
right, right,
And when God blesses his people, it's not just for them, it's for
Right.
those around you.
Right.
So other countries and nations were able to come and buy and sell. The only thing is, Joseph like you a spy. You a spy.
He wanted to see his baby brother.
Yeah,
yeah, that's true,
It's
that's
like-
true.
yeah.
Exactly. And he's the one that baited them into telling him that Benjamin was still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then when he found out everything,
And he knew that he got so much, but he knew that Daddy was a moment that Benjamin took. And they knew, and they feel their life for real. They knew that. But I wonder if Jacob brought them close to death after what happened with Joseph.
Yes.
I wonder if that's what happened.
With the king, with Cain, with
Because
dance with Cain.
Kill all your sons that day. Really? Kill all. I'm gonna start over. I'm gonna have my Benjamin. That's it. I'm good. I don't need all y'all. I don't need y'all. Good. Yeah. The daddy was done with them. The daddy was done. Like
yeah,
lost
that's
your-
true. That's true.
that was a lot. That was a lot. It took him. It took him.
It
And then
probably took
another
a
thing
whole
is-
lifetime to get past that. He was gonna kill all the
Because
boys.
he lost his wife.
Yeah, I was just going to say that
He lost his dad.
he loved
He
Rachel.
lost his dad and his wife and his son.
Yeah,
That was a lot.
He didn't want Leah.
Well, he did it. Stop it.
no, he did not.
He got her. He got her.
He didn't want that woman.
He was tricked into
He was tricked.
He kept on tricking into it for some reason. He
Okay,
liked
we're
her.
gonna have to close this out.
He
And
liked her.
He was
we'll
mad.
talk about this after.
So it's like,
Just Rachel,
Okay,
Rachel didn't want to love him.
Okay,
So
let
she
me
went
close
to
this out.
Leah.
you wanna like
That's what that was.
And
You know my life.
need to know
You
how
lost
it's
Joseph. Oh, I'm like, no. I'm gonna have this
All right, I'm gonna close out, the recording portion.